to prevent.
Good morning. I was asked to be a little bit more brief, but I cannot be brief in my wishes to Leila this morning. I should take just a minute to say how much I am honored to be in the family of your international friends, and I'm impressed about all your achievements, so I can only wish that God bless you to continue with this achievement, because either family members, either a friend, when you touch, you make them gold, because you improve a lot everything you do, and it's very amazing and a very big inspiration for all of us. Thank you very much. And of course, our friend of the Kulaku Center, like Gennady Sukiko, which invited me here. In order to make the point, this presentation would have been not possible 15 to 20 years ago. Prevention of recurrent miscarriage and preterm birth was practically impossible. And I think this is only because a couple of studies put the attention of the investigators and clinicians to progesterone, which is a very old molecule. We know we have used for many years in many settings, but without a precise knowledge of the pharmacodynamics and the real effect in maternal fetal medicine of this molecule. I see nowadays that there are several effects which are being elucidated, either in vitro, in animal, in vivo, and this opens the possibility that the study will be addressing now the possibility that really the shortening of pregnancy, whatever is the reason, can be at least ameliorated by the use of progesterone, which has a lot of action from modulating the maternal immune response to be a very important antiprostaglandin drug to reduce uterine contractility, improving uterine placenta circulation, that are all putting together a real tool of pharmaco action that are very important in the now prevention of both these problems, the miscarriage and the preterm birth. You know that the difference between miscarriage and preterm birth is just a consensus which has been established by WHO in considering that 22 weeks we have a fetus capability to survive, at 21 there is not. So we call abortion or miscarriage what is before, and what we call is to be born if it's after. But it's a continuum, pregnancy is a continuum, so the real action of progesterone can be wide in both sense. However, if we look at the data that we have related to progestogens and progesterone use in the past, there was a trend in reducing the rate of recurrent miscarriages. As you can see, ameliorating also the birth rate. However, if we look at the meta-analysis, data which have been collected are very old. The mix appears with apples with potatoes, and there was no reason to believe too much that these are true. The quality of the trials were very poor. There is no standardization of treatment protocol and so on. And some of the trials, however, which were considering the real recurrent miscarriages, so more than 3 consecutive miscarriages, were showing at least a trend in action of this progesterone. However, there was a very big trial which was published a couple of years ago, considering more than almost 1,000 people, and this trial again didn't show very much effect of progesterone. But we learned a lot of things from the trial, because the protocol was not appropriate, and the reason of protocol not appropriate elucidate why progesterone should not be used in the way as being used in the trial, which is that we need to use progesterone to protect early pregnancy from the luteal phase, and not after we have a test pregnancy positive. And you see, because this trial was already showing some effects, but only in patients with many miscarriages, and this, reading differently of very important trial, which was not showing, as I repeat, a very good clinical action of progesterone, was, inspiring a couple of other studies which were very important. One was made in Egypt and in UK, and was showing, in fact, that if we start in luteal phase, we have, in recurrent miscarriage people, a very big advantage and amelioration of pregnancy outcome compared to controls, and another study which was run in Chicago by Mary Stephenson, which not only showed the same result, more or less, but she was at least looking to the fact that if you give progesterone during the luteal phase, you may ameliorate some of the expression of enzymes which are favoring implantation. And this was showing in, for instance, in vitro models, by in vitro fertilization models, in looking, for instance, to N-cyclin E, which is one of the key enzymes which transform the endometrium decidua and allow the implantation of pregnancy. So, also Azure recently, in the guidelines, state the progesterone should administer from the luteal phase if you want to have good effect for recurrent miscarriage. And this is some of the data we have also from other studies, and also Cochrane library. I go briefly show that there is, in fact, an effect on recurrent miscarriage. Major studies which have been put together show that in any case, if we have progesterone versus placebo and outcome miscarriage, we have a significant effect. So the message is now we know better the action of progesterone. We need to give progesterone in the luteal phase if we want to defend at least pregnancy at the beginning. Now, preterm, very briefly, second phase of pregnancy. We cannot address any risk factor because there are too different populations in the world, but there are 3 risk factors that are the same everywhere. The prior history of preterm birth of a woman, which is increasing 5 times the risk of preterm birth. Of course, more than 1 fetus in the womb, and now, which is established, the risk factor, which is a short cervix at mid-trimester scan, mid-gestation scan, which consider short cervix 2.5 centimeters. Let's say that if we have a short cervix, we can have the additional risk factors, but more or less these are the 3 major areas of interest in which we can address different tools, among which, as I said, progesterone, but also these have been compared to the classical cerclage and the introduction or reintroduction recently of a pessary, or modified pessary by Rabin, in which there was at least the possibility to address a prevention of pregnancy shortening. What are the very real results? Previous preterm birth, for sure progesterone works. There are more than 36 randomized controlled trials which have been collected. But what is important is not only that micronized progesterone vagina works better than intramuscular one, but we may have also less adverse effect if we use the vaginal route, no enter detail, and we have a protection at least of 50% reduction of the risk in women which previous, whatever the reason, previous preterm birth. The debate nowadays is around short cervix. However, short cervix means a lot of things, means a lot of probably etiologies. We have to be careful because addressing different etiologies, we have to address different tools to protect pregnancy. But it's quite clear that whatever is the reason of a short cervix detected by ultrasound and mid-gestation, if I give vaginal progesterone, I have 40 to 45% reduction in the risk. Not only, but I have much better neonatal result, a significant reduction in neonatal morbidity, in RDS, in mortality. And we will address in a moment why. Of course, some other progesterones don't work, but only vaginal progesterone work in this. Pessary has ambiguous result with some favorable study producing effect of prevention by the pessary, some other study not having the same result. But at the end of the day, the recommendation of the European Association of Perinatal Medicine have been cautious in considering the use of other tools like pessary or cerclage, because not all the studies show, for instance, a good, training of people in putting the pessary in the right position. And the very recent Italian data comparing 150 patients with and without pessary and progesterone show that there is a benefit of pessary along with the progesterone. Finally, twin pregnancy. The most of the data show that if you have start progesterone in just twin pregnancy, you don't get a very good result. But if you have a short cervix in twin pregnancy, again, progesterone make a difference. Ameliorate the length and ameliorate the neonatal result. What about pessary? Pessary, very rapidly, a very recent study, very big study, showed there is some benefit in putting the pessary in a twin pregnancy. There is a new perspective I want to announce here because a very recent study published along with the international collaboration that I have with the Omsk University. We enrolled 220 patients with placenta previa detected at mid-gestation. And we combine the management of putting the pessary to this patient around 20 weeks plus progesterone. The results were amazing because you know there is an effect on migration of placenta. If we use pessary and progesterone, we have 3 times more the migration of placenta. So the placenta is not anymore previa when we are after 34 weeks. And this is probably due to the combined effect of progesterone with deviation of the angle of the cervix given by the pessary, which is one of the effects of pessary, which probably is making unfavorable the continuation of the placenta to remain in that area because of blood supply. You know, the placenta go where there is a very good blood supply, so the placenta migrate because the cervix became unfavorable by the combination of the two effects. So, in conclusion, we have different effects of the progesterone, particularly the one that is administered by vaginal route of immunology of pregnancy, due probably by the effect of immune response. We have now recognized benefit if we use progesterone in the luteal phase, but we need a more randomized controlled trial, of course, to prove that this is one standard of our care. While I think that for the role of progesterone in the maintenance of pregnancy, there is a strong biological plausibility to use progesterone for the protection of the second part of pregnancy in women at risk of preterm delivery because of a prior preterm delivery and because of a short cervix. And we have ameliorating neonatal effects. You know, one of the reasons why progesterone is ameliorating neonatal effects is to cross the placenta, is converted in allopregnanolone, and allopregnanolone protects the brain. And this has been demonstrated also in many studies which will have much less cerebral palsy, even if you're born preterm, but the mother has been treated with progesterone. So I think this is a very good indication to continue. So the take-home message is that for pregnancy maintenance, I think that the route of progesterone to be used because of this data we have collecting against progestogens or other route of administration is the vaginal. If we want to use the oral route, we have to use at least 30 to 40% more progesterone compared to the vaginal route. There are some now indication how to start progesterone luteal phase, at least with 300 to 400 milligram per day by vaginal route, and for the protection of the preterm birth, 200 milligrams starting from the beginning of the second trimester. As a conclusion, many of these aspects of maternal fetal neonatal medicine will be treated and will be part of our second World Congress Maternal Fetal Neonatal Medicine, will be held in London, 4 to 6 April. Every one of you is invited. Thank you very much for your attention. And thank you for inviting me.